What's up everybody, my name is Bryce, aka DubsNotSubs, and today I am bringing you a video from Uchuu Shelf. He is doing issued, I think last week at some point, he issued a Just Be Creative challenge, and I responded that I was going to take that challenge. So today I will be going over my portfolio I guess, what I've done in graphic design so far, and at the end of the video, hopefully if I don't make this go too long, my plan is to actually do a manga cover that is Japanese and make it English. So without further ado, let's get right into this video. Alright, anyway, to start this off, we're going to start off with some of the earlier stuff that I've done. This is simpler, a lot of solid colors, just something where I could get the practice and kind of getting the feel of what a manga cover should look like and how to theme it well with what the Japanese version looked like. So first up we have Aira. This is I think it's a 4-comma or something, I don't really know. I just kind of picked the cover because it was very simple and just something I could really just wet my feet in, figure out what I'm doing. So basically what I did, easily enough, because with the solid background, you just lasso tool around that whole Japanese cover. I don't know if I'll find the originals, I might just have what I have, but basically where the Aira is in the English, if I don't have the original up or comparison, there was Japanese lettering. So basically I just took that out, take a brush or lasso tool around it, Control X, whatever you want to do. Then I don't remember if it had the creator actually on the front of it. I don't think it did. I think I added that on my own. But anyway, yeah, just put that back in, hid the little A behind her head so it didn't go in front, because I just like the aspect of it kind of going behind her head. And then just the created by Chama Uji, just fit that right in. It kind of went with it and didn't make it feel so empty in certain spots. It kind of filled it up a little bit. Well, I kept the created by smaller than the actual Chama Uji just to emphasize that. I didn't do anything with 3 that was already there. I didn't really feel the need to change it. But anyway, that's my first one. That's just my wetting my feet and figuring out what to do. So anyway, let's get on to the next one. Alright, next up we have Delusional Telepathy by Noble. Basically, this one had a lot of noise in it, so this one involved me a lot of rebrushing and going over stuff that was like very blurry, because I couldn't find a better photo, but I kind of wanted to look at the aspect of getting a picture of something I had to clean up more. So this one had the Japanese lettering in that little blue circle where Delusional Telepathy is, and I basically just took that out, simple enough with that solid block, and then I think it was a bulge tool, I think is what it's called, or something like that, in the text options, and then kind of spread out that Delusional Telepathy. Kept the white and yellow with it because I really like that. The created by Noble would just fit there perfectly. It didn't really feel like there was any empty space at that point. And then yeah, just recoloring, redrawing, especially that top left. That one was really bad. I had to go through and basically color that whole thing. But yeah, this is Delusional Telepathy. This is my second one. So let's go on to my next work. Okay, for our next one, this is basically by the time my Photoshop class or my graphic design class started up, and we're tasked to create a magazine cover. So this one I went with Vogue, and as my cover guy, I picked the band I'm going to see in, I believe, 9 days. Going to go see them at Chicago for their 10th anniversary show. We got Ninja Sex Party lead singer Danny Avidan. Sorry, there was something in my eye. That really hurts. Anyway, yeah. So basically with this one, I was tasked with, there's a background for Danny Avidan, and I had to remove him, and basically the hair select was the hard part. And for the most part, getting that off and like that extra hair kind of around him ended up coming pretty clean. That's just a lot of channels and getting the hair separated from the actual background. Remove that. Pretty happy with how that went. The Vogue, put it behind his head again because I like that better. And most Vogue magazines kind of do that where they put the person in front of it, so it kind of adds like this 3D effect. The background itself, I just googled concert stage for the most part, and the colors that this one went with look good with what Danny Avidan's wearing. And so we're tasked to come up with articles. We had to have 4, so basically I just made up everything besides the Danny Avidan thing. I just kind of made up on the spot. So I'm excited to start our tour. Danny Avidan starts world tour, whatever. I just made up some title. And yeah, we have breaking news with the Walmart, just all scaling, kind of make it try to look as realistic as possible. And the way that the white goes around, or the gray that goes around the stroke that I added around like all the lettering just to make sure it popped and didn't blend in with that background too much, was originally supposed to be white. But for some reason when I saved it, it added this translucent kind of look to it. But at the end of the day, I kind of liked how that looked, so I kept it. So I don't know if white would look better. I never tried another way. I probably should go back there and do it because I want to see if it would look better. But anyway, yeah, this is my magazine cover, Vogue. So let's go on to the next one. real quick. I just want to show this one real quick. Wait, where's the right one? Here, I made it like I made Pink's new album cover. We were just messing around in class. We were doing hair selections, and we ended up having to do Pink's hair. So I just ended up messing around by inverting her face and her whole head, and it just did that. And I thought it looked cool with a galaxy background. Did that, and I called it My World. I probably should have put the world part in front of her body. Now that I'm thinking about it, I want to keep that My behind it, but I kind of like the world being in front. But so basically, what I did with the My, I just added the galaxy text in the background, and I put it in the space right there for the My World, and I inverted those colors so then it would pop equally. But yeah, that's Pink's newest album, and let me go to the next one. Alright, for this next one, we were tasked with we were practicing line art, so this was just basically taking a black and white image and professionally coloring it and shading it. So the product, or the one I chose to go with, was Dimension W. I decided to go with this Chapter 1 Home. I just really liked it. The background was really cool. I wanted to add it. It kind of gave me that military look to it, so I wanted to add that in the background. Put all the white text in and stuff like that. Really liked how it turned out. I didn't want to go like too crazy with the away from the colors, so basically I just chose to go with that purple and green because it just kind of felt like it matched. Excuse me, matched your hair and everything. The antennas I kept accurate. The face and stuff I made sure to get reference photos and get as closely as possible because it's not my thing, and it's already they already have a set thing, so it doesn't make sense to change that. So yeah, but I really like that shaded where the darker spots were colored in that coil or whatever. But the thing with this and shading, basically all you do is darken the areas that they've already shaded, which makes it really easy. Well, I'm not complaining about it at all. But yeah, that is my Dimension W coloring one. So let's get on to the next one. The next one right here is 3 AM Danger Zone. This is another manga cover that I did. Again, I don't know, maybe I just think the aspect of, I need to start doing one that's a little bit harder with the actual clone stamping, but I've been focusing on right now just trying to make a cover or work with the fonts and gradients and strokes and stuff like that to make it the best I can. And so this one, what I did is basically there was just the Japanese writing in that top right. I erased it with, I think I patch tooled it or whatever really quickly. Added this kind of script. I don't remember exactly what it is, but I added a black stroke around it. I think it's only, I don't really go anything above size 3 for strokes are usually too much. I don't even think I had a size 3 stroke in it, but then there's a little bit of a shadow around it also, a drop shadow, and then I added a pink gradient that goes throughout that you can kind of tell. And then that one in the bottom was actually somewhere else. I moved it down there, and if you look closely, let me see if I can, yeah, if you look closely in it, that shadow is actually taken from her skirt right there, because the black didn't really look right with it. The shadow was too different from what it is. So basically what I did is I magic wand the tool, I brought it up to that layer where the skirt was, I copied the tool and then brought that back in and then made it a shadow by putting in the background. But yeah, I'm very happy with how this one turned out. This is probably one of my favorite ones. That Dimension W one was really cool too, but the one next I liked more. But anyway, let's hop on to the next one. Alright, almost finished up. This was actually pretty recently. I think I did this one last week or whatever. So this one is a Flowers of Evil scene, as you can say. I'm not going to spoil anything just besides this scene itself. There's another professional coloring line art, and I was really, really happy with how this one turned out. Again, I think I decided to put his skin a little bit lighter, but with that dark background, it already made his skin darker than it appeared. But yeah, her shoes and stuff, I decided to have it all purple, and the purple is just because I like the night setting, and it kind of added this mysterious aspect to it. And I need to fix that night sky actually now that I'm looking at it. I'm not completely done with this one, but this one's basically almost done. I just got a little bit of that. And then the glass down there, I basically went over and then kind of added a yellow glare which matched with I don't know what kind of light was really going in because it's nighttime. But yeah, the light that's coming in, I kind of figured it was kind of like some street light or something, so it had not this super bright yellow tint and kind of this faded yellow. So I picked that, and this got the brownish tan basic background plan. I just like the aspect of the pink rose or whatever, and her bat silver basic because I didn't want to go too crazy with that. The water spilled over down there. Shoes, I just kind of like the red and black scheme, so I just went with that. And then you got the classic bright yellow boots and everything. So yeah, and the orange I just kind of went with because I needed something to match with the purple, and both of them kind of they're not purple because I feel like for the most part, and that blue is very blue, but something about purple and orange being that hard purple, as purple as you can get, doesn't really go well. I think it didn't really go well with her figure and kind of her look. And this faded orange and faded purple really worked well, and I was really happy with how that came out. It matched with the skin and everything. Just kept the brown hair, just kept basic hair. But yeah, this is the Flowers of Evil one. I believe I don't have many left. There might only be 1 or 2 left. But anyway, let me check this out, and we'll get to it now. Alright, this one's a thumbnail. This one was a thumbnail I just really wanted to talk about because I think I made this obviously yesterday or whatever. But yeah, this thumbnail is basically, it's Golden Sheep, and what I started with was just the cover, which I will hopefully put up. And I had the cover, so basically what I did was, I patch tooled the top part. Basically what I did is I lassoed part of the area out, I brought it over there, and then I patch healed all the stuff, because there's basically pretty solid color, so it was pretty easy to patch heal it and stuff like that. I didn't have to do much clone stamping. I did the same thing for the mountains, and I just brush tooled the rest of the mountain to make it look like it actually gradually came in. Same thing with the pink line and the purple line below that. Basically, I just I lasso tooled like the rest of the area how I envisioned the lines going, and then I just brushed in all the rest of that on both sides along with the purple. And basically, the hardest part about this was definitely that end of the guitar. I think you can probably tell a little bit in this photo that the strings itself on that little right where the hand is. I plan on going back and fixing that, but I didn't have enough time yesterday. I wanted to get that video up as quickly as I can, as best as I could in like the time, quality, and getting that up at a decent time. So I got as good as I can get. I plan on going back and actually fixing the string, because it's very consistent except for one part that kind of humps out a little bit, and I want to go back and fix that. And also the color, for some reason, is a little bit off on those strings, but I'm going to go back and fix that anyway. But yeah, the hand with the reddish look to it, I'm very happy with how this turned out. Got 1920 by 1080. I really was happy with how I kind of made it look like an actual wallpaper background. Talking to my friends about it, who's also in my Photoshop class, was really happy with it, which made me feel good, because obviously getting praise or whatever for something I worked took me a couple of hours to do. I really enjoyed making this. I've been Photoshop and just designing stuff, art is always, being creative, something I've always loved to do. But yeah, I've just really loved making this and all this stuff about it. Yeah, basically the G was kind of cut off on the actual album, or not the album, the book cover, as you can see, so I just basically added the rest of that in to make it look natural. But yeah, that is the Golden Sheep, and I believe I only have one more, which is my final project. I'm not done with it yet, but it's my final project for my Photoshop class. I have to turn that in, and then I believe I start my Illustrator class in 2 weeks. But anyway, let's get on to that last one, then we'll hop into Photoshop and actually create an album or a manga cover. Alright, last up, before we actually get into the actual creating of a manga cover, I wanted to show this My Hero Academia one that I had been doing for my last project as my Photoshop class. It's another line drawing. Let me take these off real quick. That's what it looked like originally. Went through. I really just mainly focused on the heroes. I plan to get to Overhaul over here at a certain point, but right now I just wanted these guys. So basically, just go in. I had a lot of reference photos for each person. The only time I really took liberty with stuff was his hat or his cape right here. I just didn't like the white, and I liked the kind of the darker blue. Kind of worked well with the yellow and like this office yellow right here, and then her helmet right here. Again, I just didn't like, it was too much white in one area, so I just wanted to add that part. And I think her helmet's already this color anyway. I wasn't 100% sure, but I liked the like this blue, so it matched her suit. And then I added like pink. You can't really tell, or maybe just because I'm colorblind, I can't really tell. It just looks, the pink is very light, I guess. But yeah, it's very good. It's very good. I'm just very happy with how it just turned out. A lot of shading, like darken like his nose, certain parts of his face. Go around, just basically all you really had to do for the most part was Hirokoshi was really good with his shading stuff, so basically where the lines are and all the shading stuff, so for the most part you don't have to do a lot for the shading, except for certain parts where right here I think I added a little bit of shadow, like certain parts like right next to characters, just to like kind of show they were in front of them or whatever. But anyway, yeah, there's this one. I even colored in little Deku right here. Oh, and also, yeah, the background. The background, I just looked up like a night sky thing because I kind of like the idea of a night raid. I know that happens at day or whatever when they do the overhaul stuff, but yeah, I just like the idea of a night raid, and it's my picture, so I wanted to make it that way. But anyway, this is this one. Let's get on to the actual cover. Alright, so right now we have started on this. I've decided to pick the most plot-heavy book I could ever find, and this is called, what is it? I think Sexy and Stupid Water Polo Comedy. I could tell you absolutely nothing else besides that, but right now, actually, we are getting started with the very fun part of having to clone stamp, and starting with the best part of this whole picture, those nice opis. But yeah, we gotta clone stamp all this, get all that background removed or whatever, or all that initial text logo removed, because it's just not, it doesn't work well in it. It's just one thing that sucks about not being able to officially do it, because I'm pretty sure people who do this officially get a blank cover without the text on it. But so with us, or people who do this for fun or whatever, they have to find one where they can actually feasibly clone stamp it or whatever. So basically, just going through, finding whatever, just clone stamping through it. I've been taking the lasso tool, making sure I'm getting like the perfect area for the most part. A little bit later on, I'm going to get a little bit lazier with it. Like, I'll leave a little bit of blue lines or whatever, and I'll probably go back later because I didn't know how much of the text would actually cover all this stuff right here. So basically, yeah, just with all this clone stamping, you just got to make sure that with the little bit of parts that highlights and the lighting and stuff all makes sense, and her hair is like still actually looks like hair when you're done clone stamping and getting rid of that blue. But so, this really wasn't too bad of clone stamping. It just took time. It was pretty simple for the most part. Like, this part kind of sucked because I kept trying to, I was getting a little lazy. I was trying to go straight down in like one little line or whatever, but I eventually learned my lesson and started like what you have to do is alt click, which basically is you have to pick one area, and wherever you drag, it follows that path. So if I picked that hair right there, and I alt clicked on it and I went too far down, it start giving me the skin color on her thing and started doing in the hair area, which you don't want, because it won't look right if you're trying to make her hair look like hair. But yeah, right now I'm trying to figure out, get better at time management. This, for the most part, like that white was a really good time saver for me, which is basically take the whole white and just brush it over with the white tool. Made it really simple for me, really nice. And right there, I was starting to have a little bit of problems with actually doing that, and I tried to do another method of it that really only worked a little bit. It didn't hurt at all. It just was, it was okay. It didn't make it really that much faster. But what I did, I believe, yeah, I took like the patch tool, which basically you take an area, highlight it, and then drag it to another spot, and it tries to make it like whatever you dragged it to. So what it did was kind of took the purple away for the most part, but it didn't take it all away. Then eventually I was like looking at that white spot, and it really didn't look right. I couldn't get it to look normal. It almost looked like she had a disease or something there. So I don't know if I don't go back yet, but I'm going to go back pretty soon. Yep, there it is. I went back. I didn't like it, so I just went back over with it and took it all away because it just looked better. I just liked it better without that. But yeah, then got to get her hair, whatever. Go back, clone stamp, make her hair, that little hair thing, look as much like an actual piece of hair as it is. And the thing is, when you're zoomed in like this, because you got to find the places where it's a good time management and make it look good, because when you zoom out, you can't really tell how, like, if there's any like the smaller stuff, because you can get too specific when you're doing it, because I'm very OCD about this stuff. Sometimes I can't handle it, and I have to go back, like right here. When I'm done with this, I think, yeah, right here, I go back, and then I will be doing that red part up there because I wasn't really a huge fan of it. Also, I'm going to be uploading this as a separate video itself, so if you're on that one that's not with the graphic design portfolio thing, welcome. Thank you. This is me trying to do a Japanese cover. But yeah, if you want to see what I've done before and kind of my previous works and everything, I have a video for that. I'll put that in a card or in a link in the description, hopefully, if I remember it, because I'm not very good at that. But yeah, right here, as I said, with like, it was just too red there for some reason. The rest of like that left part didn't look, it looked fine with that red part, but for some reason right here, it just didn't feel right. So yeah, bring out, looks a lot better now. Now I believe, yep, gotta go down here and get the title off. And yeah, so far going so well, not too bad. And then we gotta go up there. What are we doing now? I gotta remember. Yep, now we're just starting to the text. I thought so. I couldn't remember what it was, and now basically this is me just trying to like mindlessly find the right font or whatever. But yeah, and then just continuing. This is just basically trial and error. I went with the same colors that the original text was, and I was messing around with the shadows right here, trying to figure the right angle, right spread for it. I really like that. I think I added the white stroke also, and yeah, then I went to distort it, added a little bit of an angle to it, and just kind of stretched it up and down a little bit to make it bigger. And then the pink part now, which is the water polo comedy part, is I tried to go the opposite way at first. I tried to angle it against it, because I thought that might look cool, but when I stacked it up against it, I was like, it doesn't look right. So then I just decided to go back, yep, make it right like how it's supposed to. And then I was like, all right, that's looking pretty good so far. And now I went and got the paint splatter brush, which was kind of in that little bit, in the original Japanese thing a little bit. There's splatter everywhere, and I had to take that off. But yeah, when I got that part, and pretty much, yep, then I selected all this with my magic wand tool, go around and just add the paint inside. And I tried a little bit first. I had to go back around and then add the white outline too, because I thought that looked better. Then I had to get my, my publishing logo right there, Vigilant Apparel. But yeah, for the most part, that's done. Alright, so here we go. This is the finished product. I went back in and put in the number right there, and then who created it. And to be honest, why didn't I put that in the time lapse? Real talk, it's because I forgot about it. I looked back into it when I was finished, and I was like, what? I was like, something's missing here. And I went back and looked at the original. I was like, oh my god, did I really forget to put in the volume number and then the name? It shows how new I am at this and just how forgetful I can be. But yeah, basically with volleyball, all I did was went in. There was a little pink spot right there to the right by the Y that I just brushed in with yellow, and then with the created by, I just picked the same two colors. I added the stroke and everything the same as the upper part. I decreased it a little bit so it wasn't as blocky down there, just enough to distinct itself from that. And that Vigilant Publishing thing is something I already had previously created as my publishing brand, quote unquote, because I wanted to make up one to make it look like a real thing. But here you go. Yeah, also I did erase some of the brush stuff because I felt like the paint was going a little too much everywhere, and I wanted to keep it around just the text. I thought it looked better that way. But yeah, here you go. Here is my water polo sexy comedy. And here you guys go. I hope you enjoyed this video. I really do hope that you appreciate this. I might try to bring more of this, but it won't probably be Japanese translation covers. Not a lot of them, at least, because this is kind of Uchuu Shelf's thing. I don't really want to take that from or steal from him if we do that. I've been really into professional coloring, like professional grade, like shading and all this stuff, and like line art and stuff. So if I do more of this, it'll probably be that. Maybe every now and again, like on a rarity, I might do another cover. Like, I do these in practice all the time. It's just straight up, I just don't want to take anybody else's thing or whatever. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I do hope you all really enjoyed this. I really had a lot of fun making this, and thank you guys for all sticking around. Hopefully we'll have more graphic design and stuff like Photoshop inspired things in the future. So without further ado, thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, I will see you in another video.